What about apartment buildings? People are moving more and more to apartments, where charging is not available nor easy to provide. We don't have the charging infrastructure to deal with folks who can't pay to install a charging system in their home, or who live in apartments or condos or park on the street. This hypothetical future does not take into account people who live in apartment complexes, condominiums, high-rises, and other multi-unit residential properties where overnight charging, or any car charging option, for that matter, is non-existent. Says who? These are only a few quotes from the many, many letters we've received in response to our recent proclamations that electric vehicles are the way forward. Another writer could have hardly been more clairvoyant. I would be very interested to see you apply your journalistic skills to tell me how electric cars will be made practical for the tens of millions who live in apartments and condominiums. In my particular case, my condo building has zero capacity to support home charging. That makes two of us. I live in an apartment. I just got a 2023 Hyundai Ioniq 5, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Following its victory in our 2023 SUV of the Year contest, Hyundai's radical electric crossover has joined our long-term review fleet. As its chaperone, I'm perfectly situated to assuage the concerned readers above. My little one-bedroom apartment is in the heart of Los Angeles West Side, where luckily I have off-street parking. But charging at home isn't, and won't become, an option for me. Thus, I'll be exclusively reliant on public charging. I'm not worried. I have the Ioniq 5 on my side. No mistaking this for a Tesla. We'd asked Hyundai for an Ioniq 5 equipped in second highest cell trim, but the automaker was able to get us a range-topping limited spec significantly quicker. Guess we're stuck with this version's numerous trim-exclusive niceties, among which are heated and ventilated front seats, an augmented reality head-up display, premium audio system, and panoramic glass roof. Its power-extending ottoman on the driver's seat might aid relaxation during charging sessions, and a sliding center console provides versatility, or novelty, at least. Digital teal paint looks fantastic over the Ioniq 5's angular, 8-bit bodywork. Under shadow, it can appear as an unassuming gray, but as light hits it reveals its blue and vivid green metallic truth. Silver wheel arches and hypnotizing fractalesque 20-inch wheels add to the visual intrigue. Aesthetic allure continues inside thanks to two-tone green and off-white vegan leather upholstery accented by orange stitching and piping, another limited exclusive finish. I'll find something to stick on the magnet board beside the steering wheel. Because it's an SUV, right? We opted for the dual-motor all-wheel drive powertrain, which whirs out 320 horsepower and 446 pounds-to-foot of torque. Those motors draw electrons from a 77.4 kilowatt-hour battery, which according to the EPA provides 266 miles of range. Perhaps the Ioniq 5's most impressive electrical stat is its ability to recharge at up to 239 kilowatts, letting it make the most of relatively rare 350 kilowatt chargers, significantly shortening charge times. On more common 150 kilowatt and 50 kilowatt plugs, the Ioniq 5 should be able to preserve a consistent charge rate across the session. How am I going to do this? With the dual motor upgrade adding $3,900 and $210 optional carpeted floor mats installed, our new Ioniq 5 totaled $58,005, quite an increase from its $42,745 base price. Doubtless I've been entrusted with a very nice vehicle. Now my task is to keep it from becoming a very nice sculpture full of vegan leather and lithium-ion cells. Again, charging it at my apartment will be impossible. And again, I'm not concerned. My public charging landscape, there's a level 2 charger 2 blocks from my apartment, but it's too slow to be worthwhile unless I can park there all day or night. That'll be a worst-case scenario. A better option is the bank of 350 kilowatt level 3 chargers in downtown Santa Monica, a 10-minute drive from home. Along my commute route there's a row of 150 kilowatt level 3 chargers, but it's at a crowded mall and often falls victim to ICI, where gas-powered vehicles block the chargers, suboptimal. Most days I work from the office, where 2 separate banks of 50 kilowatt level 3 chargers are within walking distance. I imagine I'll use those frequently. There may come times when I visit someone with a home charger, but aside from that potential, the only private charger I'll access is a level 2 plug at Mount HQ. I may have to arm wrestle my colleagues who also chaperone long-term EVs out of our LA office, Scott Evans and the Rivian R1T, Christian Seaboy in the F-150 Lightning, Ed Lowe with the Volkswagen ID4, and Eric Ipana driving the Kia EV6, for rights, but they all have home charging, so hopefully they'll go easy. I'm charged up. I acknowledge I'm located ideally to live the EV lifestyle. California has more chargers than any other state, and my access to public chargers is relatively easy. My experience will not be representative of all apartment dwellers, or even EV drivers in general. At the same time, California has the most drivers of any state and the highest rate of EV adoption. The state says 18% of new vehicles here are electric. So it'll be interesting, or worse, to find out how my charger access changes over the next year. And unless I get on my landlady's bad side, I'm not moving out. So this is it, we'll find out how valid those readers' conniptions really are. Point is, such access gives me no stress about juicing up the Ioniq 5 locally. But I'll never reach our 20,000-mile goal for long-term vehicles by staying in the city. I need to venture far beyond the electrified haven that is the Golden State. We're already planning considerable road trips and unpaved excursions that'll test the Ioniq 5's mettle as an EV and an SUV. In 12 months' time, I'll have a very different perspective on what it's like to live with an EV. Hassles may shatter the apathy I hold toward public charging, or I'll find out that it hardly disrupts, or somehow even enhances, my day-to-day. Perhaps the joys of driving the Ioniq 5 will outweigh any frustrations. Regardless, challenge accepted, this apartment dweller is out to prove the naysayers wrong, and I have the right electric crossover for the job.